In this video, we're going to be covering installation of the mpower ORV 2x1 and 6x1 lights. For most of this video, we are going to use the 2x1 light specifically, but the process for the 6x1 is the same. Let's go ahead and take a look at what comes in the package. Okay, so we're looking at the mpower ORV 2x1 off-road kit. What's it consist of? Two mpower ORV 2x1 off-road lights, which utilize silicone technology. In addition to that, you're going to get all the bracketry that you're going to need to make the installation, including all the hardware. Here we have the lower bracket, which attaches to the vehicle. And that's going to attach using a carriage bolt, and you're going to need a 1/2-inch wrench to put that together. The next bracket is the upper bracket, or the swivel bracket, and this is going to sit inside of the vehicle bracket. And this is going to be secured using a Torx 25, one on each side. And when it's all said and done, you'll be able to rotate the bracket with the lower bracket and swivel the upper bracket. Now the light gets assembled to the bracket using a Torx 10 screw, one on each side of the light. And the light can be mounted this way, or you can flip it around and go this direction with it. Whichever is going to be better suited for your installation. That's the way you're going to want to go. And in the end, here's what it looks like. We've got the light, the swivel bracket, you can see it rocking here, and then we can rotate on that carriage bolt as needed. All right, so now we're looking at the harness for the mpower ORV 2x1 and 6x1 lights. Now this is a plug-and-play harness, so really all we're going to be doing is laying it in the vehicle and making all the connections. Now I'm going to walk you through all of this, but let's go ahead and start on this side. Over here, we've got the relay. The relay is the switch that's going to turn the lights on or off. And it's what the power is going to flow through to get to the lights. Now these two harnesses here are the actual harnesses that go to the lights, and you're going to want to make sure you route those to the lights so that you can make your connections there. Moving along, we have the trigger harness, and this harness here is going to be what turns the relay on or off. And it's going to be fed using the switch that's going to be mounted in the vehicle. Now the switch will need power supplied to it, which allows you to turn the relay on or off depending on the position of the switch. And we're going to supply you with this red harness here that you can connect to an accessory device inside the vehicle, like a USB or the back of a radio or something like that. And the switch also has an LED light on it. And because of that, we're going to have to hook up a ground to it so that the light can do its job. And we're going to supply you this brown wire here. For all the connections, we're going to give you a variety of connectors that you can use depending on your installation. And over here on the right, we have the main power and ground for the whole system. And this is going to be typically hooked up directly to the vehicle's battery. Now, as far as the remaining accessories that we're going to supply for you, we're going to give you screws and zip ties, which will allow you to secure everything. Now, for the tools that you're going to need, you're going to need a drill and bit, so you can drill holes for the screws. That'll allow you to mount the fuse here, and your relay over there. You're going to need a set of crimpers that'll allow you to do a 14 to 16 insulated barrel crimp. And you're going to need a set of cutters that'll allow you to cut the zip ties after you're done securing everything. Now for this installation, we actually use some other aftermarket type switches, so we could have different colored switches based on what we were turning on or off. And here's a shot showing the completed project where we've got the mpower ORV 6x1 lights at the very top of the cab of the vehicle. And looking at the back side, we've got the mpower ORV 2x1 dual stack variation of these lights. Okay, so here's an image kind of showing a schematic of how everything is going to get put together. Now at the bottom, this is highlighting the actual harness being laid out inside of the vehicle. Following that, you're going to want to go ahead and mount your lights and your brackets and everything else. And the lights are just going to get mounted and connected at that point. The next step is to hook up the switch. And that yellow trigger wire is going to be the first one that you're going to connect. And we're going to have the red wire connected to a power source. And don't forget the brown wire needs to be connected to ground. And that'll give you that feedback that the lights are on with the switch being in the on position. Once your switches and lights are all connected up, it's time to hook up the main power and ground to the battery of the vehicle. Now this installation video has been primarily about the 2x1 light, but the process is going to be the same for the 6x1 light as well. Because these lights are using silicone for the optics, That's going to give you much better optical clarity, and it's also going to provide you with higher levels of magnification than you would normally see out of a polycarbonate lens. And finally, silicone is practically an indestructible material because of its ability to flex upon impact.